Welcome back. You're watching us here on Chartbusters. As promised, let's get chatting with the management of Zen Technologies. It's been a big mover. In fact, they've won a lot of orders as well. And this one, the most recent one coming in from the Defense Ministry, about 123 crore rupees this morning itself. Remember, at the end of the previous quarter, the order book of the company was closer to around 540 crores. In the interim, in the last few weeks, they've won orders worth nearly 730 crores. That takes their order book up above that 1200 crore rupees mark as well. Ashok Atluri, who's the chairman and managing director of the company, joins in to detail the recent order wins and more importantly what the future looks like for the company. Thanks a lot, Mr. Atluri, for joining in. I remember, a couple of years ago when we would have the conversation, the question was, where are the orders? And now that there are so many orders, the question is, how are you going to execute them and what is the execution timeline? Your current order book, close to 1275 crores. So give us a couple of numbers. What are you expecting in terms of inflows in the next couple of quarters? And how do these orders get executed over a period of time? What is the revenue run rate likely to be?
Yeah, the first part I would like to discuss is by September, we expect a couple of more orders to come by September end. And by year end, we expect more orders to come, but I'm not able to put a figure on that. Having said that, in terms of execution capability, when you look at our whole value chain, most of our effort is in R&D and engineering, but the actual execution of the order, is outsourced by the manufacturing part of the order is outsourced by us. We have a very good supply chain, and we feel reasonably confident that all the orders will be executed. And the order execution time for orders is up to 18 months. So I think by next year, we would have realized most of the orders from this order position.
Hi, Mr. Atluri. Good morning. The people were talking about the drone. Now, you have other products as well in there. So the order book is looking very good. I want to ask you about a couple of aspects here. The last time around, we were egging you to give us a number on the revenue front. And maybe, in fact, 500 crores will be possible for this year. And you had also indicated, I think, that PAT margins will be close to 25%. Do you stick by both those two numbers? And just going with this 18-month education, 18 months execution period, that means for the following year, that's why FY25, you should do what? 800 crores?
We do expect, the rest of the order to be executed. So we should keep in mind that there is a services portion in this. So if we eliminate the services and add the new orders that we come, probably we should be in the region of what you are saying. Yeah.
So 500 crores for this year, 700 crores for next year.
7 plus 100. Yeah, that's our expectation.
Okay. And what about margins? If you could give us an EBITDA margins as well as PAT margins. Yeah.
EBITDA margins, they'll be at least 35% and PAT margins around 25%, at least 25%.
That's for both these years, right? FY24 and FY25.
Both the years, we do expect some, leverage to come in, and probably they may be a little higher. But I think conservatively, we can say that 25 and 35% will be there.
Right. And what proportion of these orders? This morning, you got an order from the Indian, Ministry of Defense. What proportion of your current order book is from the government of India? How much of that is from private players and how much of that is from exports?
I would say 99% of the orders are from government of India and or the foreign export order, but they're all government orders. We have a 5 crore order, which is a very small order that is for anti-drone system from a private company. Otherwise, all are government orders.
And what are the payment terms on these orders? Is it 3 months, 6 months? How does this work?
So typically what has happened, what they do is they pay 15% as advance money, they pay 15% and against pre-dispatch, they give about 40%. Again, the installation, they give rest of the, 45 or 40%. And finally, some 5 to 10% is given against installation and training.
Okay.
So, and again, I want to tell one fact that the payment we have seen is on the 45th day. Nirmala Sitharaman actually said that we will pay 45 days within 45 days during COVID time, and that 45th day is almost magical, and we are getting all our payments on the 45th day from the Indian MOD. Yeah.
Well, that is very heartening to hear, and full marks to the Government of India and the Ministry of Defense to assure companies like y'all that you're getting your money within 45 days. So that was my next question, but you've cleared the point out there. Mr. Atluri, this stock, we have been covering it, here on CNBC-TV18 itself from 100 rupees. Now it's around 800 rupees. And we have had you various times coming in on the show as well. My question to you is, since things are looking up, you'll require some money to execute these orders as well. Wouldn't you be a little bit tempted to go ahead and raise some money from the equity markets? Is that a possibility?
So, our cash book position is very, very strong at this point in time. We have almost 300 crores in the banks. And even if we take out some lean FDs, we still have 200 plus. So we have a lot of cash. So we don't need to raise money to execute the orders. And whatever further orders we are getting, we will be getting the 15% advance. And remember, the whole bill of material is between 25 to 30, up to even if 30-35%, we are getting 15%, and we have to do staggered delivery. So I don't think there will be any issue with respect to working capital. We will not need funds for the working capital for sure.
All right, you don't need funds. Could you give us a sense of how well equipped is your current system to get all these orders and execute all these orders? You said that you have a strong supply chain. You outsource some of the manufacturing, but internally, would you have to do any capex? At what point does a ceiling come in terms of the number of orders that you can execute? Just trying to understand that.
So, what we do is we actually outsource. Almost 85% of manufacturing is done outside. The actual in-house, we do probably about, 10 to last 15%. The last mile integration, software testing, etc. is done here. So, what we may need is another large shed to do the integration work. But we would really not be requiring any plant and machinery capex in that.
Oh, okay. All right. Mr. Atluri, assuming that you get lots of orders, and order book is looking up, what is the peak revenue potential you can do if 85% you're doing from third parties? Is sky the limit? I mean, maximum potential revenue that you can do?
I would put it around, probably without stretching ourselves, around 2,000 crores, so we could achieve. Yeah.
2,000 crores, and that would come at minimum capex?
Yeah, I would say it will be minimal capex. Only the physical space might have to be expanded, but otherwise capex expenditure would be very minimal.
And by when do you intend to get to this 2,000 crore mark? Just trying to understand this again from growth standpoint. Next year you will do about 700 odd crores. The year after that, if you continue this run rate, then when do you reach there by?
We are in two products. One is the simulators, and simulators have become very, very important. As you have seen in Ukraine, they have the world's largest and the most sophisticated equipment, but they are sitting ducks. The Russians are eating them away. Why? Because they're not trained. That sense of urgency has come not only in India, but also in foreign countries. And there is a huge increase in requirement for simulators, so both in export market and Indian market. Government till now never procured simulators under emergency fast track process, but they are procuring simulators under fast track process, because it's showing the importance. And the simulation framework which the government issued in 2021 said we have to mandatorily move to simulator training, otherwise that's not acceptable. So given all these regulatory tailwinds that we are feeling, we think that there will be tremendous increase in the sales. And similarly for anti-drone systems, drones are becoming, anybody is having it. We saw in Azerbaijan-Armenia war, Azerbaijan just won the war because of the Bayraktar drones that Turkey had supplied them. And now we know Pakistan, they are supplying to Pakistan the same weapon. So we need protection against anti-drone systems through anti-drone system. So we feel that, yes, I think this is just going to explode this, and this is the start of the inflection point.
Okay, all right. Final question then, Mr. Atluri. We take all your points on board. In terms of an ideal revenue mix, how do you think it shapes up between domestic and exports? That's the first part. And the second part, I wanted to ask you about your two verticals, the anti-drone system as well as simulators. How do you see both these two verticals pan out? First, the geographic, and then your product-wise.
The way the government of India is pushing us, I think it will be at least 50% exports. The government of India is saying that you have to sell abroad also. And that's also a validation that our product is, world class. And so we think 50-50. And, in terms of anti-drone systems, as of now, we probably have a 40-60 mix, 40 anti-drone system. But we expect that, the anti-drone will become 50-50 or maybe much higher than that, given so, again, it's a very frictionless product. A lot of people are coming after us to supply this product. So the anti-drone system is going to become very important for us.
All right, it will be interesting to see how important it becomes for you, how you achieve that, and more importantly, if it becomes so lucrative, will there be other players coming in and competing as well for the same pie. Thanks a lot, Mr. Atluri, for joining in and giving us all those details on your business. Wish you good luck for the 500 crore revenue that you are projecting this year, 700 crore next year. The maximum revenue that you can do without minimal capex or with minimal capex at 2,000 crores as well. Thank you for joining in. Good luck for the remainder of the orders that you will get in this year. That was the management of Zen Tech. What we'll do is take a short break. On the other side, we'll get you more on the markets and individual stocks.